Hey guys, Mr. Happy here, and welcome to the next part of my Final Fantasy XIV Let's Play. Now, I did some leveling off camera. Like I said, I would try to just record parts that weren't just me doing quests over and over again, since that can get pretty boring to watch pretty quick. I spent about 45 minutes, got myself from 12 to almost 17, using the same methods that I was teaching you in the first few parts. Did duty roulettes, did some new guild tests, did all that stuff, but I wanted to start recording at this point, and there's a very good reason for that. Now, I'm going to be doing the last main story mission that you really have to do in your starting city. Now, this one is pretty similar regardless of where you actually do it, the big difference being the type of enemies you'll fight, even though they mostly just do the same things, and where you'll fight, of course, depending on which main city you actually started in. Now, the big thing about this quest is it's going to start at first with a big battle with a bunch of NPCs. Now, for almost every job, this shouldn't be an issue at all. I technically should have protected before I came in here. I'm pretty sure I would have kept it coming in. But what you're basically going to want to do is just get rid of as many bad guys as you can. Freeing up NPCs in this fight definitely helps. And you really, honestly, don't need too many pointers for this fight itself. The only part you may have trouble with is the second half. Back in beta, it was one of the hardest quests that you could do as a low level without cure on your bar, or it was just pretty hard, especially, well, there's one big trick to it, and I'm going to see if I can show you what that trick is. Now, if you're ranged, you can pretty much just dance around the boss for the most part, but the biggest thing for the second half of this quest is that you're going to want to bring the boss down to, why am I carrying? Going to want to bring the boss down to 50% as soon as possible, because once you do that, then it becomes a whole lot easier. Now, you'll notice that we're not attacking this guy right here. It's because all these other NPCs are going and taking care of a bunch of other enemies that we're going to have to fight. And these enemies are actually, you can actually do meaningful damage to them. If you were to just go after and attack the big guy right there, you would probably, if you don't pull aggro, which you probably won't, he still just doesn't take enough damage to warrant trying to kill him first. I mean, here, I'll quickly show you how much damage I would do to him with a single hit. It's not bad, don't get me wrong. You definitely do meaningful damage to him, but he takes a lot longer to kill than all these other guys. On top of that, you have these healers right here who, as you can see, are starting to direct their cures at him. So we really want to get the healers out of the way first. And when we start talking about PvP, trust me, that's going to be something you're going to be used to as well. So we're going to kill all these guys. As you can, some of the NPCs are starting to fall low on HP. You don't really have to worry about that too much. You'll also notice there are a lot of fake battles that you can't really partake in going off on the side. Enemies that you can't target. There on the left, the archer fighting that Ixali over there. Obviously, you can't influence this fight at all. Can't influence this fight right here. So it's all about kind of just letting the NPCs go and do their thing. Now, eventually, you'll get this thing to spawn. And this thing is not really that bad at all. At this point, you can choose to fight this thing, or you can just zerg down the boss and then let all the NPCs help you. It really doesn't matter. This thing isn't exactly very difficult. It does this one AoE move, which you just have to move out of, and it's just back to the way you were doing things before. So this is the first, like I said, this is the first half of this mission. The second half is the one that I really wanted to start showing, and mainly because, like I said, there's one little trick to it that newer players may have trouble with. I'm pretty sure that they nerfed the quest into the ground so that this isn't even necessary. It's not even remotely an issue anymore like it was back in beta. But it has been that long since I've done this mission, basically, so I wanted to record this just in case. And besides, right after this, we're going to be going into all the level 15 things that you're going to pretty much have to unlock. I'm probably going to make this a two-part video as well, just like one of the previous, just like two of the previous videos that I did. I think it was parts 3 and 4. Now, here's the second fight. Now, the big thing here, a lot of new players might have trouble with, is you actually want to go for the gargoyle first and try, like I said, try to get the gargoyle down to 50% as quick as possible. Now, if you're a conjurer, if you're a thaumaturge, if you're an arcanist, this will be absolutely no problem for you. The big thing is that corrupted tail attack that I just got hit by, which poisons you. Now, the poison used to be a lot stronger. I see that it is definitely a lot weaker than it was before. But in case you just want to take a little bit less damage doing this quest, you know, as a melee who doesn't have the option to cure like me or doesn't have protect like me, then one thing that really helps is all the main story. At some point during the main story missions before this, you'll have gotten at least one antidote. I actually got 6. And you'll want to just put those antidotes on your bar real quick. If he poisons me again, I'll use it. I wanted to see how much damage it was going to do over its entire duration before I decided to do that. So, it looks like it's below 50% where we really got to get him. I thought I heard somebody was coming to join me, but eventually an NPC does join you in this fight, and if you're missing HP before you go and fight the masked mage over there, he will take care of you. Now, if you attack that mage before you attack this guy, you can totally do that and be fine. As you can see, that 2 NPCs joining me right here. You can do that and be fine. I know people who have done it in the past. But it's easier to just take out the gargoyle, because the masked mage literally does nothing to you before he literally does nothing to you until you start attacking him. So the only thing that you really have to do on this guy is stay away from Ida and Papalamo, or it's going to be different NPCs depending on where you are. When he casts Blizzard 2, you can run away from him. When he casts Fire 2, just make sure you're not standing next to the NPCs that are helping you. I think it's Thancred in Uldab, and I don't remember who helps you. It might be Ishtola. I think it's Ishtola in Limsa Lominsa. But this is all there is. Like I said, it's not too difficult. I was pretty sure they had nerfed it into the ground, but I really wanted to start recording at this part because there's going to be a lot of things that we're going to explain at this point. Now, some of you probably heard me say at the start of the video that I went from 12 to 16 in about 45 minutes, and all I did was use all the things that I employed in the first 5 parts. I continued with my main story. I did all the quests that were popping up as they became available to me. I was doing hunting logs as I found the enemies. I wasn't really going out of my way to find them. Just when our paths crossed, I would kill them, just in case I needed to kill them for another quest or something like that. So we need to go back. It looks like we need to go back to Gridania. So I'm going to use the return feature while I keep talking. So yeah, that is the big thing. Is I was literally just employing that. I did it at level 15. If you've done the 2 level 10 guild hests, get 2 more guild hests at level 15. So those were a nice little boost of about 15,000, 16,000 experience points, I think. If I include all the enemies that I had to kill, yeah. I did 1 duty roulette for the guild hests, which, you know, also nice bonuses, nice skill. As you can see, I'm sitting on 12k right now. So I'm only level 16. First time, first brand new character, no help from a free company or anybody else, and I'm already sitting on 12k guild. So it is very easy to make money in this game while you are leveling up. And now that we're level 15, the process of getting from 15 to 50 is going to put a lot of money in your pocket, especially the way that we're going to do it. Now, this is going to be mainly for people who don't want to go out of their way and level a crafter, level a gatherer, you know, buy gear for multiple classes. That's really one of the things that'll set you back when you hit 50, is spending too much on gear while you're leveling up other classes. You can really get from 1 to 10 without upgrading your gear at all. Although, you may want to consider getting a new weapon around level 5. But again, these are things that we're going to discuss in other parts. I'm going to show you in other parts. But now that we're 15, we get access to so many things. First of all, we get access to airships, which honestly, you probably won't use them too much after the first couple of quests. You'll probably instead want to teleport and start setting favorited locations and things like that. But it does come in handy, and it does give you access. Now, we just got access to a Gridanian ring, accuracy and slashing resistance. Grab the next quest, move out of our way. Now, we're level 15. Let's just say you're basically level 15 around this time that you just completed that quest that I did. The first big thing you want to do, once you've gotten to the point where the NPCs want to send you to the next city-state, before you leave and go to that city-state, the biggest thing that you're going to want to do is get your level 15 class quest. And that is because, as I said before, every 5 levels you get that quest. It could give you a piece of gear, or it could give you, you know, a weapon. But at 15 and 30, you get a new ability on each of those quests. So at level 15 here, if you don't do that quest, you're just losing out on an ability that you could be using in the upcoming dungeons. Conjurer, not so much, because this ability is kind of just a pain on all your party members, but this one helps a lot for soloing. So I'm going to head over to Conjurer's Guild and grab that quest also real quick. Let's see. Now, especially as a tank, I'm pretty sure the level 15 quest is a ranged attack, and you're really going to want that. So as you can see, the rewards here. Level 16 weapon, level 17 shield, odd, fluid aura, which is an ability, and then we get a choice between all this other stuff. So let's accept it. Now I'm gonna keep doing the main story missions. That was just my reminder to you to do the quest. You know, I don't need to show you the Conjurer level 15 quest. That's not the important part here. What's important is that you do that, especially before you get to the point where the main story wants to send you into dungeons, because that level 15 ability for most classes will help you with that dungeon quite a bit. Fluid aura is not the best example, but it's just the point that we'll have to make. Now, what will also help you is the fact that that is level 16 and 17, you know, weapons and armor. And again, you want that. You want to have up-to-date armor going into dungeons, especially if you're a tank. Having up-to-date armor as a tank is probably the most important thing you're going to have to do, other than learn how to tank itself. I've gotten some requests to show a low-level tank versus doing the low-level healer like I am now, and I am going to take my Gladiator 15 and do that, and potentially my Marauder to 15, depending on which one I feel like actually doing. So we have that Gridanian ring. I'm pretty sure they're going to ask me to equip it at some point. They just asked me to collect the artifact from Beaten. But anyway, let's put on that other ring anyway, because it's better than that ring I have right there. Accuracy and slashing, well, that's debatable. Accuracy at this level is rarely an issue, but it can be. So I'm just going to equip it, whatever, no big deal. And we're going to move on. So, level 15. What are some of the other features we're going to be looking at? We've already talked about getting the airship, which we're doing right now by doing the main story missions. We've already spoken about doing your level 15 class quest, which you don't have to see me do. You just need to know that you need to do it. The biggest thing I think you're going to unlock at 15, other than the duty roulette for your dungeons, or just the dungeons, start unlocking dungeons in general, is your challenge log. So your challenge log, which I'm going to explain a little bit more in depth, is something that you'll unlock in Limsa Lominsa. Also, this NPC is inside, so now I look like a moron. Luckily, we can just not walk in right there. Now I look like a moron twice. Well, gotta look like a moron from time to time. Otherwise, you know, I got nothing. All right, I got no witty comebacks, jokes, nothing. Just gonna grab the quest. Oh yeah, see, I knew he was in here the whole time. Yeah, I totally knew that. I don't even know what you guys are talking about. So the challenge log is basically gonna give you extra rewards, gil, experience points are the two big ones, just for playing the game pretty much. There's no reason not to have it, you know? It's just more. That's the best way I can think to put it. Now, the challenge log to me is worth a lot more the higher level you are, because the rewards will scale with your current level when you actually complete an objective on it. But it resets every week, so you don't have to worry too much about anything, really. I mean, it's you could totally just, you know, not use it and it would be okay. So where do we need to go? Manoa Mask. We need to go back to Old Gridania. We need to go to the Mikot Amphitheater, I think it's called, something like that. Mikot Amphitheater. So, let's put on a mask. Unfortunately, my body piece takes up both slots, so we're going to have to put something else on. There we go. There's the mask. Mask has no stats, literally just for this quest. What do you say we go? I think the Lancers one is the closest, yeah. Well, actually, you know what? I could have just ran up through Old Gridania, but the point, you'll see. I have to get the Aethernet here anyway, because this is a very common place to have to go in Gridania. So, it doesn't really matter too much. A few other things you are going to unlock around this level. Retainers. That's another big one, because being able to access the markets to, you know, sell items and store items is a big help. And this game's going to look like it's got a lot of inventory space to you. Now is the key word. Give it a little time. You're going to wish you had all the inventory space in the world. Luckily, retainers each have a big inventory, as you'll see, and by default we have 100 inventory space. I say by default like it's going to expand. It doesn't expand at any point. Your bags are just a solid 25 inventory spaces, and I've barely done anything. Like, I sold a few items on what, like part 1 maybe, or part 2, I don't even remember, and I haven't even filled the first bag yet, but trust me, it'll fill. Don't worry about that. Let me also just stop off. Speaking of filling it up, let me just stop off at the delivery mogul real quick and grab those 3 letters that I've been neglecting this entire time. So we're gonna grab my Kate Sith minion. Of course, it's unable to process, and the Onion Helm, which is another low-level thing that we'll probably never use because it doesn't give bonus experience points, but can't hurt to have, you know. All right, so let's grab this quest. Get this out of the way. This point, just doing it. I think we're going to hit 17 if I haven't already. I must be really close to 17. Now, another thing is, I haven't played this character much. Oh, God. That's another thing. If you just get random free company invites, don't accept them. If they didn't go out of their way to try and send you a message and try to get you it, don't just randomly accept it. So you're probably wondering how we got here. That's part of the main story mission. Luckily, I already showed you guys this, so I could just leave again. So, I guess I could have just waited till this main story mission, but I didn't know it was there. So, if people just invite you to a free company, which is this game's equivalent of a guild, don't just accept it randomly. Find out more about it. You're better off waiting to see a shout for somebody who's actively trying to recruit, who says, oh, we're accepting low-level players, and we're accepting low-level players. We give experience point bonuses, a lot of helpful members. Those are the kind of free companies you'll want to join. And keep in mind, you may not stick with those free companies all the way to the end. In fact, it's very likely that you will not stick with those. I didn't even get the Ethernet like I said I was going to. It's highly likely that you will not stick with those free companies for the rest of your playtime. But there's also a possibility that you'll meet a lot of cool people there. Like I said, getting the free company bonuses for the bonus experience points, which I haven't made use of yet on this character. Having just the people available to, if you're a DPS, try and find tanks and healers who want to do dungeons together for faster queues and better experience points. Just don't accept the random free company invites, because by the end of the day, you'll probably have left it already. A lot of the times, those are just people looking to fill the ranks and get a low-level person to help level their free company. Very often, those people are leveling a free company for the sake of buying a free company house, but they're trying to buy their own house, which doesn't really work anymore, so I don't know why anyone would do that, so I don't even know why I'm talking about it right now. You can buy a personal house without having a leveled free company, so ignore all that. But they still probably want you to help them level their free company. And there's a chance that after they've met their requirements, they'll just boot you, because they don't want you there. They just wanted you to help level it. Just don't accept the random invites, trust me. So, Silent Conjurer. Did it default to no again? Yes, it did. So, this is going to be the mission that is going to send you to the other city-states. Now, if you started in Gridania, you can walk to Ul'dah from here. It's a long journey, but you could totally do it. And if you started in Ul'dah, you can also walk to Gridania. Yep, there's level 17. However, if you started in Limsa Lominsa, meaning you started as an Arcanist or a Marauder, then you are going to have to complete this quest before you can go to Ul'dah or Gridania. Because even though there's a boat in Limsa Lominsa, and this is supposed to be a quest that takes you through, to unlock the airship, the boat is included in that unlock. So, sorry, Limsa Lominsans, but you are stuck in that city-state until you get done with this quest. It's going to be, I call it the Envoy quest, most noticeably. Let's go back to the Aetheryte Plaza. As you can see, I'm just trying to burn through these quests one by one. The big thing that we're going to conclude this video with, while I'm talking about all the things you have to do, is going to be the challenge log, because I want to get that point across. And then the parts after this are probably going to be dungeon related. I'm probably going to show you what a low-level healer looks like in a dungeon, show you what a low-level DPS looks like in a dungeon, and what a low-level tank looks like in a dungeon. The person who commented, low-level tank is probably the one I should stress the most. Yes, being a good healer is important, and I'm going to be showing you things that a lot of low-level healers don't necessarily need to make use of, but they're good habits to be practicing as you get up towards level 50. The big thing being able to DPS and use and properly heal your party. Now, considering I'm playing with a controller and I'm used to playing with a mouse and keyboard, we'll see how well that lesson ends up going. I like to think it's going to go okay, though. I like to think that. Keyword, key phrase, I'd like to think. Not playing with a controller has been it's been an experience. But in those 45 minutes where I leveled up, I learned how to speed through using this thing, just constantly switching between cleric stance and healing and DPS. But we're going to be getting more abilities soon. Their action bars are going to start filling up, and I'm going to have to start trying to really use it properly. So again, skipping all the cutscenes. Apparently I have high encoding. Hopefully that isn't affecting the recording at all. I'm actually going to be watching it pretty closely, and if I notice that the high encoding is affecting the quality, I might reduce it. Here's the thing. These videos are being recorded 1080p at a fairly high setting, and they still on occasion, after the render, it's after I render them and I make them usable on YouTube, that's when they look meh, That's the best way I could think to put it. That's when they look meh. It keeps saying warning high encoding, but I'm not seeing many quality drops in the actual recording. Hopefully this part ends up okay. If it doesn't, it's gonna really, really suck, because I'm doing the challenge log in a second right now, and that's kind of like the whole point. Luckily, I've just been running around doing main story missions, so it's not that big of a deal yet, but it is going to be if this high encoding. It's weird because it only says high encoding really when I'm on these loading screens. And that's literally when the system should be the least stressed. Yeah, you know what? It says, you know what I'm going to do? How about this? Before I unlock the challenge log, which I'm literally, like, very, very close to, I just need to do some of these missions, and then it'll be right here. Basically right here in this area. As soon as I do a couple more of these main story missions, I'm going to actually restart the recording right now. Just check the quality, make sure it was okay, and then we'll continue on. So I'll be right back, guys. All right, I checked the recordings. They're perfectly fine. I don't know what the system's bugging out about, but it's perfectly fine. So hopefully it stays that way after rendering. So now we're in Limsa, which if you started here, you know what it looks like. But in case you didn't, here it is. Yay! Aethernet shards are already a thing here. Yes, every city-state has these Aethernet shards, and you are going to want to unlock them in every single city-state. So, big thing that I'm not going to recommend is all the quests in another city-state. If you want to, you can save them for another class, but this is the part where I become kind of like, I don't really want to do that. And I skip there are a lot of these quests, and these are very similar to the quests we did before. Difference is, we're not level 2 now, we're level 17. These quests are not going to be worth your time. So if you want to save them for your second class, go right ahead. I don't recommend doing them now. The quest you did see me pass up a level 15 quest, and that's a seasonal quest, so I'm not going to do that in this video. So the challenge log is going to be unlocked in that area, but we do need to finish these envoy quests pretty much. And yeah, as you can see, look, quests all over the place. Let's just hover over them real quick. Make sure we're not missing much here. What good ails you, duty calls, all of these different quests. Luckily, I haven't seen the challenge log quest yet, which means I probably need to finish. I might need to finish all of the envoy quests, which means I might need to go to Ul'dah first before I can get this as well. But it is coming up, so don't worry too much. And besides, we're skipping all the cutscenes, so this isn't going to take too long. So that one's out of the way. Gridanian Envoy. Now speak with to go back to the airship landing. I'm going to do that first, and then I'll come back here. Let's go back to the airship. That's the one thing about it being your first time using the lifts in Limsa, is that the locations it gives you are not lower Limsa and upper Limsa. They are, the Drowning Wench and Bulwark Hall or something like that. So as a new player, that might confuse you, and you probably get it wrong once or twice. But once you've identified that, it comes in handy. So let's board the airship, go over to Ul'dah, which is my city-state of choice. Oh, even though you don't really have that much of a choice. Well, it was my city-state of choice until PvP came around, and now I'm a twin adder. Don't make fun of me. It's just for the shorter queue times. I'll accept all the losses in PvP if it means I actually get faster queue times. It's okay. Alright, so here we are in Ul'dah, the third city-state. Now, I say the third city-state, it's also the final city-state at the current moment. We are going to have a fourth city-state in the expansion that's coming out in spring. Spring of 2015, to be more clear. But, despite that, you do... Hustling Strip. Okay, it says Hustling Strip, thankfully. Also, the airship lift here is the same problem. But that one's... You're probably not going to be able to start a new character there. I can't imagine you'll be able to start a new character. That'll be more like just a new location for players to go kind of deal. Alright, Aethernet Shard. I didn't even unlock the Aetherite Crystal, which allows you to teleport in between the cities. I do highly recommend that you do that while you're here, as much as I don't condone teleporting to get everywhere as a low level, because you will waste a lot of money that way. Trust me. Remember, it's like, what, 200 gil? Well, now, look, I'm all the way in another city-state, and this city-state's kind of between the other two. Gridania is almost 500 gil to get to and from. Airship's like 100. So, you could see why I don't condone just teleporting every single place you want to go. It will wear your wallet thin. Yes, it may take you a little while longer to get to certain places. And now that we've completed this quest, we're going to accept the next one, but now we should be able to go back and unlock the challenge log. I am wishing right now, I am kind of wishing right now that I had it, because I actually have the free teleports, even from being a veteran reward, from being somebody who has played the game for a number of times. They also give you a minion right here. I don't know, minions are just minions are just vanity things. They're just like little little toys that follow you around, I guess is the best way to put it. If you play World of Warcraft, companions are pretty much the same thing. In this game, companions are completely different. But they don't give you any battle stats. They don't give you any sort of edge in combat. They are literally just, hey, look what I have. It's a cute little airship, or it's a cute little puck, or anything along those lines. It's just a little toy doll thing that gives you stats. Oh no, I don't want to go to Gridani's. See, Gridani's 120. That's almost 1/5 the price. Limsa Lominsa, also 120. So let's go to Limsa Lominsa. Skip the cutscene. I'm still wearing that mask that has no stats. I should probably take that off at this point. I don't need it anymore. In fact, you could probably get rid of it, because I can't imagine you'll need it for anything later. Unless you like the way it looks. But then again, there's plenty of masks in the game that look like this. So let's put on my cowl again, so it takes off my headpiece. And we are going to go to the Drowning Wench. This should be where the challenge log is. Watch it be like a totally different quest that I have to do before it, and it's not here. Oh, well, I needed to come here anyway, apparently, so that works out. Honestly, I did not mean to do that. That was a complete accident, me coming here. There we go. That was the quest I needed to complete anyway. See all those quests that just popped up next to me? Those are all quests that you are probably going to want to do and accept. So, what quest do you have? Rising to the challenge. This is the quest for the challenge log right here. This is the most important quest of this entire video. I cannot stress that enough. We'll also check out the other quests that were here. Beauty is only scalp deep. This is the quest that unlocks the aesthetician, which allows you to change your hairstyles, which I'll be showing you in another part. And this is part of the challenge log quest, so I'm just going to talk to this dude. Well, actually, I think this might be the aesthetician quest. But, as you can see, quests. Do them. They'll pop up right here. It's actually pretty convenient that they pop up right here, right when the main story takes you here. So, I'm not going to complain. That high encoded thing is just bothering me. It's really bothering me. The slasher, apprehend him. Oh, no, this is still another guy for that. So this is Beauty is only scalp deep. Okay, so I need to go to the Lominsan Fairy. I might as well talk to the Flustered Man as well. This is for the aesthetician. Oh, I need to express/doubt. So I will /doubt you. He probably won't like that. There we go. Alright, and that's going to require quite a bit of going around, so we should probably go to the Blacksmith Guild first. However, I want to show you guys the challenge log. Challenge log, most important part of the video. Aesthetician, I do not care about. Just a personal thing. I'm not big on vanity. I want you guys to do it, and I want you guys to know what it's like, so I am going to do it. Just let me see how long it takes to get the challenge log first before I determine if I want to throw that in this video or put it in the next one, since I'm already here after all, you know? So, going about, we're going to grab the Aetheryte Crystal. There's a lot of people here, so I might skip around a little bit with that friggin' high. Oh, yep, a lot of people here today. So, you're going to notice there's a lot of names here. There's a way to turn all of those names off so you don't have to see every single person who's standing near you. We're going to talk about that in another part too, because I'm somebody who personally, I hate that. I hate the sea of names that you see right there. So on my main character, I have all that turned off. I can't see anyone's name unless they are in my party or on my friends list. And believe me, it makes getting around a lot, how do I say, nicer. That wasn't that difficult to say. I don't know why I thought it was. This is not the right way. Should probably have checked my map first. Yep. Gotta go down this way, not up that way. Gotta go over here, down here, and below us. That would have led me. Oh wait, that would have been just fine. What am I talking about? That would have been. I don't know. We'll just go this way. Forget it. Don't worry about it. I want to go this way. I changed my mind. I just like this way better. Yeah, that would have been. I think. No. Yeah, that would have literally led to the exact same way. Should have checked my mini map first. Oh well. Not a big deal. So we're going to tune to this Aethernet. Hey, I just happen to need to go here for the main story anyway. It's perfect. I didn't even know that. I wasn't even paying attention. Wastlade. Hello. I do have business with you. Unlock my challenge log for me, please. Come on. And I'm just going to grab tin pieces. I don't want potions and all that stuff. And challenge log. You now have access to the challenge log. Challenge log obtained. Now, the challenge log, going to be one of the most important things you do leveling up. I'll talk about the grade ones in a little second, but in case you can't tell, The entire point of the challenge log is it gives you these little mini quests that reset once a week. So for example, this one, complete 3 guild hests. After you complete 3 guild hests, I'll get 2,000 EXP. Again, that experience point number is scaled to my level. At maximum level, it's worth like close to 80,000, but you obviously don't need the experience at that level, so it doesn't matter. Also, 1,000 gil. Complete 10 guild hests, 2,000 gil. Fates. Receive highest possible rating in 5 different regions, which is good while you're leveling up because you'll be traveling around a lot. 6,000 and 1,000 gil, and then successfully complete 10 unique fates, 6,000 EXP and 2,000 gil. Leave quest, 6,000. Like, see how much experience and gil, free gil this is? It's so easy. That's all you gotta do. And there's even ones for crafting and gathering, which if you decide you want to go that route, like now that you're level 15 and you're able to travel across all of the different city-states, you will also have that option to help you level this here as well. More gil, more experience points. Here you go. Gathering. Disciples of Land. Successfully gather items comparable to your level 100 times. Successfully high-quality items 30 times. Catch 30 fish. Catch 10 high-quality fish. And all the rewards. And then, even player commendations, which, commending a player in your party when you do a guild hest or a dungeon. Do it 5 times. You just get some experience points. Even if you don't actually think anyone was impressive, just do it. And even more impressive is if you do enough challenges per week, you just get a nice bonus in guild. These first 2 are 4,000, but the 15 and 21s, which we haven't unlocked yet because we don't have all the categories, are 5,000, 5,000 each. So you can make a ton of gil off this just from leveling up every week. Just do it. It's free gil. You're going to get it anyway. So that is the biggest thing. Now, when we unlock dungeons, there's going to be some dungeon stuff, PvP stuff. Now, there is a few things. PvP doesn't actually give you experience points. It gives you PvP experience, which is used for something totally different other than leveling up. Treasure hunting strictly gives you gil, and this is a feature we'll be talking about when we level a gatherer, or I might even switch over to my main to do it to show you a little bit easier. This is something that I actually do recommend you having a gatherer leveled at some point, just because it helps leveling up. You can do the level 30 and 40 ones when you're leveling up at first to get gear and get a little bit of money in your pocket. At 50, you can do it to make a lot of money. You can just sell the maps outright in order to make gil. Beast Tribe quests, this is something, again, totally different. There's some crafting ones, there's some battle ones, but these are also going to be very, very important later on. Grand Company will give you Grand Company Seals, which is another currency that we're going to be talking more about that when we hit level 20, because you're going to need a lot of Grand Company Seals around that time. Random person just asked me, how do you like the game so far? If only he knew. If only he knew how much I like the game. Retainer Ventures, another feature we're going to have to go over when we unlock retainers. And companions, this is another feature. I think that we'll talk about this feature at level 30. So, all those kind of things, just really important to have this unlocked as soon as possible. I'm just going to grab this mission right here, and we are going to pretty much be done with this section in a little bit. Right after this main story mission is taking me to Sastasha, which is the first dungeon that players will encounter around around this level. So I am going to go do my level 10 class quest. I'm going to come back. We're going to do Sastasha Seagrot. I might speed through it. I'm going to try recording it with my commentary throughout the whole dungeon, but it could be a long, that could be like a 30-40 minute dungeon if it's all new players, if we don't get any high level players in there that are just coming down. So if it ends up being like really, really, really long, because I don't want to have to show you guys every single dungeon and have it be that long, then I am going to just speed it up, show the bosses, show some specific healing things, as opposed to just the literal commentary over the gameplay, the live gameplay. So anyway, guys, hopefully this part was useful to you. Hopefully you have a checklist now. You're level 15. You're working on your level 15 class quest like I'm about to. You got your challenge log. You're getting ready to do your first dungeon. You're making sure all your gear is up to date. If you want to even prepare for the dungeons a little bit more, you can do the level 15 leave quests to get some dungeon grade gear, which again is something I've been stressing since the beginning of this video part. So thank you guys for watching the series. Glad that we're able to keep doing this and keep informing the newer players and just get this character to level 50 as soon as possible, really. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. I'll see you guys in the next part for Sastasha, and until then, take care.